Hey, what's happening, everybody? Yeah, this is SIPI's Advocacy Initiative and Leadership. Just wanted to come on and touch on a few things like Phase 5 and the post I just shared with my brother, my friend, Marcus Boyd. It disturbs me, man, because I was reading the Phase 7 that the the director, put in on Monday, where it says that, they're going to go ahead and extend their lockdown inside for an extra 45 days, simply because they don't want to educate the public on what's going on with them on the inside. They want to simply lock them down, longer until they can figure this thing out. Now, I urge the public to pay attention to coronavirus. Then that means that something is going on, something underlying is going on. So we have to be sure. So we have to be sure to pay attention to what's going on with them. What's up, bro? What's up, Kaneen? And so it kind of pissed me off when I because I've been waiting to share. Bro, how you doing?
Hey, Sheila. Hey,
And
and
I want
I
to
want to turn,
turn your mic
turn your
down.
mic down. Turn
Turn your mic
your
down,
mic
Sheila.
down, Sheila.
Yeah. So it's one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to uh that, man, it's something going on big in the BOP. They're not telling us about, and I know I say this every week. Every week I try to give people update on what's going on inside the prison, simply because I have a lot of people, man, a lot of friends that I left behind. What's up, Nick? And the thing is, man, it's disturbing because here they are. Some prisons are going on, like say what Bennettsville, where Marcus is at. They're only coming out 3 days a week. You know what I mean? They're bringing them out. It's only a few that's coming out, and he's just one of the select few because he's been a mentor there and he's been in so long and his conduct has been clear. But the rest of the guys are on lockdown for just 20 minutes, twice a week. So if they're not part of the elite group, if they earn their right to be out, then most of the prisons inside are still on lockdown. And then I was listening to the speech that the director made. If you go on the BOP website, you can go on the BOP website and look at Phase 7. Their Phase 7 memo that he put out, to where he's extending it until the end of June, to June 30th. And then they will reevaluate on June 30th whether they're going to let them off lockdown or whether they feel like everything is sufficient. How can it be sufficient when they're telling us that it's not a problem within the BOP, but in Arkansas has about 839 prison cases. Forest City alone has over 275. That's only the reported number. Now they tested positive last week, where they had 101 units. This is just last week. So I'm just saying we're not getting the true numbers. So that was just one of the things that I wanted to hop on for a minute. And then when I share a post, but I'm asking you to share it, man, because we got to get the information out. No matter if I share something from Amy, we are the power. The power. So we have to get the message out about everything. I'm not asking you if you feel like it's a worthy cause or something like this. And most of the time, I'm not going to share anything. I haven't researched the guy's work or looked into it. Somebody sends me behind Amy, because Amy is the one that got me out, and so I trust that she's done her research before she posts anything on anybody. Anything the same way she feels when I send her something. And so most of the time when I tag you and I invite you on, that you've been coming onto my live shows, and so I tag you. I try to tag you. I don't get a chance to get everybody if I see you on. It's amazing how the truth always distorts the frequency of certain certain broadcasts. So just bear with me. It's not me. I promise you. I keep getting the signs saying they're trying to reconnect and everything. So it's just amazing how the truth always distorts the. So it's jumping in and out. But I'm going to try to go somewhere else where I can get a better signal. Even though my bars are saying that I have a strong signal, I'm just going to try to go somewhere where I can get a better signal. Another thing I wanted to speak about is we as African American, man, we have to be better, and we have to do better in regards to helping each other. I'm not saying take on no special calls or anything like that. I'm just saying we have to extend a hand during these crises, to each other. And help is not always financial. See, people always think about when you ask for help, it's always financial. My help that I ask from you today is just to simply share the post that I made about a good friend of mine, Marcus Boyd. I want to say thank you to all the people who I help advocate with. Like Stones Will Cry Out. That's Domita White. Amy at Can Do. Malik, who's the outreach coordinator. And let's see, it's Educate, Don't Incarcerate with Terrence Coffin. These are some beautiful people, man, who are trying to do everything with Plus. With Kent Assad and everybody. Patrick Alexander at Black Leadership at BLM right here in Mississippi. So I'm really, even though I advocate in Mississippi and for federal prisons, man, I try to work with anybody who's trying to end mass incarceration, like Latara Smith. You know what I mean? So when I fight for people like Trey, for Sandy Enos, and when I fight for Chad Marks and all the people, even with Rufus Rochelle and the people who've gotten out, and he's picked up the torch and he's running and stuff, Phyllis Wall. And so we're trying to build something to where we can help other people as a team. It's hard working individually to help somebody. So when we create a team to where we can work and help people, and we're not just talking about people in prison because we're talking about things outside of prison. My cause and my mission is Mound Bayou, Mississippi. It's Mississippi, period, but my cause and my mission is going to be Mound Bayou, Mississippi. I want to try to restore it to just a touch of the greatness it was back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And I think that we as a people in Mound Bayou, in and around, can make it what it used to be. What's up, Kenny? And so they're just some of the things, man, that I want to talk about. Later on, I'm going to be coming. I've been kind of like disturbed by all the police killing of African American, like Breonna Taylor, like Ahmaud, you know what I mean, Arbery, and then the little youngster in Indianapolis, I forget his name, but it's just been disturbing, man. These are the ones that we know about. Think about all the ones. We look at how they go to different parts of New York, and when African Americans are sitting out, they ask them to leave. They harass them and leave. But when you see a group of white kids, they go to the beach and it's a group of white kids, they're passing out masks. We got to pay attention to that, to those things and stuff like that, man. How they stop us from going into the store if we don't have on our mask, but they approach us with no mask on, asking us and stuff like that. Even though we should, So what I'm saying is, look at the differences in how we're treated as a people, as opposed to how they're treating other people. People always say, man, you shouldn't play the race card. It's just like that. Man, I lived in Mississippi in the 60s and the 70s. So don't tell me about no race card. I'm not biased. I'm not prejudiced. You know what I mean? But I understand that there are a certain group of people who don't like me because of the color of my skin. And so that's something I went through in prison. That's something I went through growing up in Mississippi. That's something I went through traveling in other parts of the world, especially Texas. So, and I'm telling you, if you think that there's not a difference in us being profiled or treated different, then man, you're definitely wrong, man. Even I told you once, it was a small business here in Mississippi that got $2 million. They only got 11 employees, but it found out that he was a real good friends with Cindy Hyde Smith. You know what I mean? And so I look at that to say we got local businesses like TGNS and Mound Bayou and a few others who are struggling to get on their feet and who are struggling to stay open. But you're giving all these small business and the money that's supposed to be used for the employees. But I heard Tate Reeves said on the thing last night, on the news last night, that money was, that they don't have an oversight to where they're holding these people accountable how they use the money. So you just gave him $2 million. You gave him a $2 million grant to help his business when he wasn't even in the red before COVID-19. And still we have all these small African American businesses failing. So I'm just saying, pay attention, open your eyes, and just look at how we are being differentiated between. So it's going to take us coming together, man, to change the narrative this November. You know, if you didn't register, man, it's not too late. You know, due to COVID-19, I think you still have time to be counted for the census. That's the first thing. And to register to vote, man, this November, man, so we can change the narrative. And so we can start making them, our vote, man, is money for them. You know, and so we speak, if they're not talking about doing something for us in rural Mississippi, in Mount Bayou, or wherever you are, wherever you're listening from, if they're not talking about doing anything for you, then don't vote for them, man. Don't vote for them. You know what I mean? But better yet, make sure that you get out and vote no matter. Don't think that your one vote doesn't count, man. Because sometimes it's one screw that could tear down a whole. How you doing, Emily? So I'll be sharing everything from, we had a great meeting this weekend with Plus, talking about mass incarceration. Go on my page and try to follow the meeting, and we're hoping, it went so well that we're hoping to do it again. And so I've just been working with a lot of people, man, all over. And it's just like, it seems like there's not enough time in the day to get everything accomplished that I want done. Let me just say that. Let me just say, not for everybody else, you know, because like I tell some of the guys that I left behind, like Marcus Boyd, like James Hicks, like Gaston. And then we have so many people who are sick in prison. I love you too. There's so many people who are sick with underlying conditions who's sick, and they denied their compassionate release just like that. You know, but then another thing they did also was not only deny them, they said that they were not even going to review. You know, I seen a statement from the Bureau and from some of the wardens where the Attorney General is forcing them to go back and review some of the cases that they ruled on, because they were saying that they were really taking matters in their own hand. You know, in the case of Robert Evans and stuff. So the quadriplegic. You know, even the judge just granted Chad Marks freedom. With Chad Marks, after him being on quarantine for 21 days, the judge freed him, and the Bureau is still making him stay until June 1st because of the memorandum that the warden put out, or the Phase 7 memo. He has to go back in quarantine because he's been released from federal custody. He has to go back in quarantine before he can be released. Man, and some of these next of kin, knuckleheaded, ignorant Negroes, you know, who are saying that Ahmaud's arrest determined how the two white men. I don't ever want to appear as an angry black man. Of course I'm angry because, you know, I know that I suffered from the injustice, or the scales of justice being imbalanced against people like me inside of prison. You know, of course I suffered because people who didn't know me chose to discriminate against me simply because I'm black. You know, so if that doesn't make you angry, because that could be your son, your child, or whatever that's incarcerated. You know, of course I'm angry because while incarcerated, I seen guys come over who had been in juvenile 2 years. When they turned 18, they came into the den of the federal prison where the different wolves were looking to devour them. You know, so of course shit like that pissed me off. You know what I mean? So excuse my French. You know, so I don't mean to offend anyone, but man, we're in trying times. It's serious time, man. Gas is dropping, but food is going higher. But just watch it. In another 30 days, gas will be so high, it'll be back like it used to be. You know what I mean? So We have a lot, man. Open your eyes and pay attention to what's going on around us, man. So don't get rocked to sleep. With everything that's going on, don't get rocked to what's going on around you, man. And so, like I say, I'll be back on hopefully in a couple of hours, maybe about 7:30. Do it without really just, I don't know, man. It's a touchy situation because, stuff like that is really cumbersome and mentally distracting to me, or how can I say it? Mentally painful to me. When I see, you know. So this thing is really, really, even though I have full, even though I'm trying to cut off. Yeah, you doing all right? Hey, Sheeta. Hey, all you people, man. Everybody that's here. Nephew, what's up? Yeah. I love you guys, man, and just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Just give me about an hour and a half so I can reload and calm down. So take care. I'll see you guys in a minute, man. Stay up, stay prayed up, man, and stay out the way. Open your eyes and pay attention.